Welcome back to The Building Code, another Inside Buildertrend episode where today we are covering the future of getting paid. I'm Zach Witovich.
And I'm Charlie Birtwhistle.
We're very excited. We love having our colleagues come on The Building Code and get into a deep, earnest, long conversation about what is it that we really do inside these walls.
No, this is short, sweet, and to the point. 15 minutes.
We're flipping it.
No, this is a good one. I feel like we've joked around before where a lot of the podcast guests, you know, with your on-site expertise, you relate a little bit more to them. We've had a couple like data research people that have been more to me. I kind of feel like the guest we have today, Trevor Pillen, kind of toes the line between the two. I work with him a lot on some data science stuff. You work with him a ton on some customer success stuff. So it should be a really good organic conversation. And we're very, very happy to have Trevor Pillen in studio. Trevor.
Camera pan.
Welcome.
Trevor Pillen.
Thanks for having me, guys. And I hate to cut into the 15 minutes, but today's a pretty special day for Charlie.
Is it?
It's your 4-year Buildertrend anniversary, isn't it?
It is?
It is. Yeah.
Wow,
Today
dude.
is your 4-year. Congrats.
That's very cool of you to say. I was waiting for Zach to say something all day, and he hasn't yet.
It's okay. Well, I'm a big
I'm
fan
going
of
to
the
save
podcast.
it. Well, first off, that's when we're shooting it. It's not when this airs. It's like you're well on your way to 5 years.
Yeah.
By the time this
airs.
No,
that's kind of a shot at our production team.
Yeah.
Should we date stamp it? May 20th, 2022.
Yes, but then you're revealing the fact that we shoot this well in advance.
All right.
Breaking
So
the fourth
Trevor
wall.
Pillen.
Focus up. Trevor's fault.
So
Yeah,
4
my bad.
years for me. How long have you been? You're kind of a Buildertrend OG. Tell us a little bit about your time here at Buildertrend.
Yeah, I've been at Buildertrend just over 7 years. So been here a while. It's been a fun ride. Started as a CSM, moved over as a payment consultant when we just introduced this payments feature. Then moved into a product spot because I saw some opportunity to fix some of our financial features. Now I am back into our financial services section as a payment operations specialist.
Try to get away.
I tried to get
Brought you
away.
back.
They sucked me back in.
Yeah.
But happy to be back.
I remember the first time I met you. Like you loved talking about payments. Like that was your baby for a long time.
Yeah, still is.
Yeah, and that's why you're back.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think one of the very first data science projects I worked on was actually with Trevor Pillen.
Really?
It was the P3, if you remember that.
Payment processing
That's right.
predictor.
Yeah, you nailed it. I said that one time. I hated it, and we condensed it down to P3. So it's cool to kind of see it come full circle. And you're working on some really, really exciting stuff.
Yeah. By the way, do we still use that P3?
Oh yeah.
Nice. There
It's
you go.
been changed a little bit, but yes.
Lasting legacy.
The spirit of it lives on. Cue the Titanic music.
So in this new role, or I guess old role for you, tell us a little bit about just what the day-to-day looks like. What are some of the issues that you're trying to solve for, and how are you making online payments easier for our customers?
Yeah. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to change the way construction industry gets paid. So historically, it's checks, right? Checks are easy. Checks are just consistency. They feel comfortable with checks. So it's just telling them, we want to start accepting ACH. We want to start accepting credit cards, explaining the advantages of doing so. And obviously there are a lot of advantages of accepting credit cards and ACH, one of which being timeliness. Time is money in construction, right? It takes a long time to get paid via check. I'm very good about paying checks. We actually talked about this earlier. I know you haven't written a check, and you said 2 years, Charlie.
It's been a while, yeah.
I wrote a check a couple days ago, but I am guilty of this. I wrote a check, and it was sitting on my counter for about 2 weeks before I actually put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and mailed it. So that's exactly what's happening in construction. You get the invoice, you write a check, it sits there, and then it doesn't get sent out. So I think the average turnaround time is like 20 to 25 days for a check, whereas digital payments like ACH or credit card, closer to 10 to 12, if not lower. So.
And the cool thing about focusing kind of at the top of the cash flow funnel is the sooner our builders can get paid, the sooner they have the funds to pay their subcontractors and their vendors and buy the things that they need. So fixing kind of that first step fixes a lot of the additional consequential steps after that.
Yeah, exactly. If you think about the time I just said, let's stamp it at 3 weeks. In a 3 weeks time period, you've probably paid your subs at least once if you're a net 15, net 30. You've also obviously bought materials from your vendors and all that. So you've spent a lot of money without having a lot of money coming in. So streamlining the ability to get paid by accepting online payments quicker is going to help solve a lot of those cash flow issues.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of advantages and we want to try and highlight those. The biggest thing, right, is like the speed of those funds compared to handing out the checks. But what are some of the other benefits to using online digital payments compared to the manual check method?
Yeah, I'm just going to root back to what I said at the beginning. Again, the time saving is huge, right? That is one of the biggest things. I've talked to so many builders where they hire someone on Fridays to literally go out, get checks, go to the bank, get it all done before 5.
Check runner.
Check runner.
Haven't seen that one in Buildertrend account.
Yeah, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
The other is obviously your reconciliation and cash flow within Buildertrend. You're able to actually see how your finances are sitting in real time, as opposed to getting a check and holding on to it for such a long time, not knowing if that money's come in or out. You can't make good budget decisions when it comes to your finances.
That's cool. So in Buildertrend, and I don't want to embarrass myself in front of Zach for not knowing how this works.
Wouldn't be the first.
But so if someone gets paid online, I would assume that automatically marks that invoice as paid.
It does.
So as opposed to, even though you can track that in Buildertrend, if you get a check, you can go in and mark. That's still a manual process. So now if something's marked unpaid, is that because we haven't got the funds yet, or is it because Zach hasn't gone in and clicked paid yet?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It takes it full circle. So essentially, all you have to do is worry about invoicing your customer, and then Buildertrend, and if you're connected to our accounting integration, does the rest. We'll mark it as paid. We'll record the transaction fee. We'll do everything for you, so you don't have to worry about it.
It's what we call accrual accounting. You know, want to recognize those costs, and you know, at the time that even if you haven't physically handed the money, you still recognize it as paid. We're losing an entire audience if we get into the accounting details, but it's important.
Yeah,
that's the lifeblood of your business, right?
Yeah. Now, if we talk about cash accounting, that's a whole nother story.
A little different. We're not going there. We're not going there.
We could, we could pull Derek Shuck, our senior accountant.
Hey, we should get him on the pod. Just like have a full round table of accounting technicalities when it comes to using online payments. So, you know, what about consumers? I mean, we're consumers, obviously. Like you're not used to writing checks. I mean, you talk to a lot of customers about their customers. What would you tell a builder who's like hesitant, like, I don't know?
Yeah. So a really good example I always give, and Woj, you're going to probably get...
That's the first nickname drop on the pod. No one's called me Woj on the building code. Yeah.
He's Zach.
Sorry, Mr. Ratovich.
Definitely, it's been a while since I've heard that one too.
Perfect. Yeah, because you used to be a teacher, right? It's
fitting.
Fitting. So,
right.
Mr. Ratovich, from a consumer standpoint, when you go and purchase something, what is your ideal way of paying?
As fast and painless as possible.
Right. So when you go to a checkout counter, and this is at Target or Walmart, whatever it might be, how do you usually pay?
Always plastic.
Always plastic, right? It's never a thought in your head. No. Now, if you were to come to me and you handed me your credit card and I said, whoa, I only take check or cash, how would you feel?
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, I will go to my house and grab my checkbook that has an address from 4 addresses ago. Like, I don't even think I have a checkbook with my current address on it.
Yeah. So as a consumer, essentially, you're used to paying a specific way, right? You're used to paying how you want to pay as a consumer. So why in construction are we limiting our consumers by only using check or cash? Why not open up that funnel? Why not start accepting ACH, accepting credit cards, the mainstream way people pay today? What that's going to do ultimately is win you more jobs, bring in more business, make your customers happy, and get you paid faster. There's no downfalls behind it. It's just a good business practice to offer flexible payment options so you can get as many jobs and as many payments as you can.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense, and it's super integrated into the Buildertrend homeowner portal. So if you have clients that are logging in, we've had obviously a lot of guests who come on the podcast who are really solid users, and they're using the homeowner portal, and they're using invoicing. And so then it becomes a natural, like, well, why not, right? Like, it's kind of a no-brainer when it comes to using these online offerings, right? I mean, is that how you would kind of approach a customer when you were in the payment seat?
Yeah, absolutely. They're already using Buildertrend.
Yeah.
The GC's already putting in invoices. This just completes that circle, right? It's just another way for the customer to pay that's very convenient, right on their mobile app, right on their computer. So you don't have to do anything extra. Just keep doing what you're doing. Take the 5 minutes to set this feature up, and you're ready to go.
That's super cool. And as a data guy, I have some data in front of me because we did some research on, we can all sit here and say, yeah, we prefer to pay plastic, right? But men lie, women lie, data doesn't. So the research came back, and I think it was over 75% of consumers said that they want to pay with credit or debit card. So it's fact-based research that we're doing, and that's why we're changing. And we just had Emma on the pod a couple of weeks ago that talked about the new changes that we're making to our invoicing features in order to make that process even easier. So if you're already using invoices in Buildertrend, this is the logical next step. So I guess what I'm kind of curious about is why wouldn't someone do this? Like, what are some of the pushback things that you'd like typically hear?
Yeah, that's a great question. And there are pros and cons to accepting credit card payments. One of them being, if you're going through the process, you're building a home or remodeling, you might have your credit monitored a little bit more closely. So you don't want to stack up all this stuff on your credit card, drop your credit score. Secondly, large purchases on a credit card, not everyone wants to do. And the larger the purchase, the higher the transaction fee. Again, there's ways to account for that. But we counter that in Buildertrend by allowing you to set a threshold on how much a customer could pay with credit card. So as a business, ACH unlimited. You can pay me whatever you want with ACH. With credit card, I'm going to limit you at $20K. And anything over $20K, we're going to force the customer to pay with ACH. Now, is that best business practice? Probably not. But again, we give you the options as the GC to control it.
Right. The flexibility of it all is, I mean, really what makes Buildertrend unique in that aspect.
Exactly.
The other thing is I think people have concern of like, well, how do I get it set up? Like, what am I going to have to do? Like, is it hard to actually start using this in Buildertrend?
It's not. If you have 5 minutes in your computer, you can get set up. That is the advantage of this feature. It's instant onboarding. So you don't have to go through like a 5-day grace period while they run your credit, figure out how much you can process. You sit down at your computer, you take 5 minutes, and the second you finish the setup process, all you're going to need is your company information, your EIN, last 4 of your social, account and routing number where you want your money to go. You're instantly approved for $500,000 a week. $500K a week you could process. That's a high threshold to process with an instant onboarding.
For sure. And I think it's pretty common for people who are like getting started with Buildertrend to like be aware of this feature. But if you're an older user and you've been using Buildertrend for a while, it's a great reminder to go and explore that additional functionality, because it could be the difference between getting paid within a day or two to hunting down checks and spending, weeks trying to chase down, the payments for the work that you've already performed.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm assuming we probably have some pretty sweet help center videos out there on how to get your account set up and up and running.
Yeah, of course. Our help center is full of helpful videos, tutorials, written articles on how to manage this feature, how to set it up, and go through the process.
So maybe we can toss one of those in the show notes, and if anyone is curious about how easy this is, they can see firsthand.
I see a thumbs up in the background.
And we also have a payment specialist team here at Buildertrend that would love to have a conversation with you about the advantages of accepting online payments, and they'll even coach you on best business practice for how to manage it.
Yeah, and so if you're a little worried about running that first transaction, we got your back. We got people who specialize in this and are really experts in the process of running payments through Buildertrend, but the benefits and why you should do it. So we'd recommend you reach out and say, I want to talk to my payment specialist.
Yeah. We understand cash is king, right? Cash is everything, and it can be scary jumping into a new world of accepting cash. You have that comfortable feeling of a check in hand. It works. Why change it? Talk to one of our payment specialists. There's so many amazing reasons why to switch that to offering this. And again, it's not replacing what you're doing. You could still accept checks here and there. This is going to supplement what you're doing today. It doesn't have to replace it. It could supplement it and just be another avenue for your customers to pay. Your customers will be happier. You'll be happier. It's a great feature.
And I'd like to always throw out the numbers for my friend Charlie.
Yeah.
And I think we're on pace for around $3 billion this year through Buildertrend, and accepting payments from customers paying homeowners. So we've got a huge base here of customers already doing it, and you can trust that we've got your back with those funds, and it's a really, really great feature. It solves some real problems for our business owners.
I remember the first month we introduced this feature. I think we processed like $8,000, made the company $10. We were just over the moon, excited. It was a great year.
This is the future.
This is the future.
Hey,
the future's now.
Yeah. Look at us.
Oh. Look where we're at.
The Bobs are like, yeah, it's not yet. Keep working.
Here we are.
Here we are.
All right, Trevor, we are out of time here on the Building Code. Thank you for checking us out. Trevor, thank you for joining us here on the Building Code to talk about the future of getting paid.
Appreciate you having me on here. It's always fun. Again, happy anniversary, Charlie. 4 years.
Thank you very much. Very cool of you to say. And your birthday was a couple days ago, so happy birthday. Oh, yeah. 21. How exciting.
Complimenting Zach,
22. It's okay. That's fine.
No worries. It's not about me.
Well, we will be back again next week. As always, remember to like, review, comment, subscribe.
Check us out on YouTube.
I'm Charlie Burtwhistle.
I'm Zach Witovich.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel for exclusive content brought to you by Buildertrend.